Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Life and Times of Crazy Patrick. Well, I'm sorry, I have not been putting out any videos lately. I just have not been feeling good. This cancer thing it's not the cancer so much as it's all the stress of going through this stuff. Having trouble with my insurance, getting things approved, my doctor not prescribing something that'll fit in my budget. You know, I can't afford $3,000 a month copay for what the treatment she wanted to put me on. So there's another treatment that will do the same thing. I just have to give myself 4 daily shots in the stomach every day, but it's only going to cost me a couple hundred a month instead of $3,000 a month. So trying to get this all taken care of, it's just taking forever and it's just stressful. And but anyway, be that as it may, I wanted to introduce you today to a bunch of my Snowbird friends. I watched a documentary a few years ago about crows, and I've had crows around every place I've lived, every state I've lived in, and I guess, you know, according to this documentary, crows are in every continent in the world. And I had no idea my entire life how intelligent crows are until I watched this documentary. This documentary was saying that crows remember people. They can remember your faces. They can remember if you're good or bad. They communicate to each other with a language and talk to each other just like we talk to each other. They hang out in family groups. I live across the street from a cemetery. The cemetery has hundreds of trees, and every winter there's a huge flock of crows that come in here and spend the winter, and they are by the hundreds. Excuse me, literally the hundreds. But after I watched this documentary, I decided that I'd start kind of checking some of it out, you know, and seeing if they did remember me, and so I started feeding them. And I put food out for them on a daily basis all winter. But I have one family group of crows that the leader of this group, or the older crows in the group, they all recognize me. When they come in the winter, they actually come near my house, start cawing and letting me know they're back and getting my attention, so that I'll start putting some food out for them. They know they're safe here at my house, this one family group out of the hundreds and hundreds that are across the street that hang out over there. It's one family group of about maybe 30 or 40 crows that know me, trust me, and expect me to feed them. Now, they'll do some crazy things. They'll, if they find shiny, like tinfoil or pretty rocks, they'll even bring pecans and they'll set them on the sidewalk out in front of my house and leave me gifts. If they find something that attracts their attention, they'll leave me gifts on occasion. It's not every day that they leave me something, but they do thank me once in a while for putting the food out for them. And they trust me. So I wanted to do a little video today that's a whole lot different than anything I've ever done for you. I wanted to introduce you to my family group of crows. So, and just let you know how intelligent they are. I set my camera up on a tripod on my front porch and put the food out so that when they came, I didn't know how they'd respond to that tripod with my camera. Even though it makes no noise and doesn't move, they know that's something different because they recognize everything, and they recognize me, and they know I'm okay. If somebody happens to walk down the street here, they'll check them out. Sometimes they'll all take off until that person leaves because they just don't trust them. And then they'll come back. When cars drive by, it seems to affect the younger ones in the family group, that they're more skittish and they'll take off, but the older ones will still stay because they've gotten used to the traffic here and they know that the cars aren't a threat to them anymore. But crows are so smart that if a big flock of crows are flying over a farmer's field and that farmer was to shoot at them, they would remember that forever, and they would pass it on from generation to generation, that that field was not safe. And anytime they came across there again, they would go around that farmer's field. They would never cross it again. So they're very, very intelligent. So they hang out over here at the cemetery all day long, and then in the evening they go south of town to Stallman Farms, which is a huge pecan grove. They raise probably one of the biggest pecan growers in the whole country, and they stay out in the pecan trees all night. And they do eat the pecans that have fallen on the ground. But you probably know, if you've ever picked up a pecan and tried to crack it open, they're pretty tough. So what the crows do, they'll pick the pecans up and they'll take them hundreds of feet up into the air, and they'll drop them on a hard surface and crack them open. And then they'll come down and eat the pecans. So they're very intelligent. They in the documentary that I watched, they put food like in boxes, and you had to open it you had to have a stick to get the box to open, and the crows would figure out how to use the sticks to open the box to get to the food. So they can actually learn to use a tool. So it's pretty smart for a bird. And people think parrots are really smart because they can repeat what people have said, but even the parrots aren't as smart as a crow, according to this documentary that I watched. So with that, I'm gonna cut this video pretty short here, and I have some footage of my family of crows. I'm gonna put them in here and introduce you to my family of crows, and I hope you enjoy. You'll see that in this video that at first the older ones come and they check everything out, they make sure everything's safe, and then they'll call to the other crows, and you'll hear them talking, and you can even tell the different pitches in the caws that they're making, that they're communicating. They're not just making a bunch of noise for no reason. You can hear that they're actually communicating. And the older ones will call for the other ones to come, and then pretty soon you're going to see, if you stay with my video and watch it till the end, you're going to see that I have a family group. I'm sorry, I just can't get over this cough today. I have this family group that is at least 30 or 40 crows, and you'll see the group over here, and they enjoy what I put out for them to eat. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you enjoy this and you'll subscribe to my channel. If you're an old subscriber, leave me a comment. Let me know that you're still with me and hanging with me, because I know I haven't been doing a lot of videos. I'm gonna do a video about the lost treasure of Father LaRue that is right here in this area. I'm gonna get that done, and I'm gonna start working on that for you. And I'm sure it's really an interesting story. And I believe I know the mountain that the treasure is supposedly supposed to be in. But that's another story for another day. I'm going to cut this one off now. I'm going to tell you to have a great rest of your afternoon, and I'll catch you on the flip-flop.